Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Friday Night Football Review for round 11 of the NRL. I just left the pub. I watched both games at the pub tonight just for something different. Sorry you guys can't see me that well. I'm just in town, just getting out of here. Saw two games of football, man. We saw the Warriors getting over the Tigers, 30 points to 26. It was a very entertaining game of football. It was a great game of football, actually. And then we just saw a game, the local derby between the Dragons and the Sharks, went to Golden Point, and Chad Townsend kicks the field goal to seal the deal, and the Sharks get the win, 13 points to 12. I got to say, the Sharks and Dragons game, man, it was a very sloppy game. wasn't a great game of football. You know, it was just one of those typical low-scoring arm wrestle games between two rivals. So, you know, I wouldn't say it was the best game of football, but I wouldn't say it was terrible or anything like that. You know, it had its moments, but I got to say, well done to the Sharks on getting the victory, 13 points to 12. But man, the amount of players that the Dragons lost in that game, that was just crazy. They lost Cody Ramsey, they lost Max Feet, they lost someone else. They lost so many players in that game. It was incredible that the Dragons were still in the game. And you know, to their credit, you know, I thought they showed a lot of heart and resilience in that game. But we'll go back to the first game. You know, the Warriors getting over the Tigers. What a great game of football. You know, the Tigers started well. You know, first try to Luke Garner, and the Tigers, they were up early. Luke Garner had a double in the first half. You know, Nofaluma scored a try as well, and the Tigers had a really good start. And then at half time, the Warriors had I think it was 18-10 at the break in favour of New Zealand. And you know, I got to say, with the West Tigers, you know, they seemed to start well, and they just couldn't finish off. I thought they were, you know, Luke Brooks. I mean, the try that Tuivasa-Sheck scored, I mean, Luke Brooks literally just pushed, like, it was like a push. It was terrible defence, but, you know, I've got to say, with the Tigers, they're so hard to read, the Tigers. It's like they seem to do one good thing one week and then they do one bad thing the next. You just can't get a read on the Tigers. When they're not expected to win a game, they seem to show up. But when they're expected to win or be competitive, they always lose. But, you know, when Tamo scored that try with a few minutes to go, I thought, oh, here we go. Maybe we could get maybe the Tigers could steal it, and then Adam Doueihi had the ball there at the end, and he ended up knocking the ball on, and the Warriors ended up getting the result, 30 points to 26. Great game of footy, very entertaining. I thought both sides in the second half showed a lot of, you know, a lot of fight and stuff like that. But the Tigers, you know, a lot to work on with the Tigers. Their defence is still pretty average, and their attack needs a little bit of work. But the Warriors, man, they get the chocolates, 30 points to 26 in a very entertaining game of football. My top three players on ground for this one. Come on, I've got this stupid light attacking me here. My top three players for the Tigers and Warriors game. I'm going to go, trying to get this lighting better. That might be all right for now. I'm going to go number three. I'm going to go with, number three, let's go with, who had a good game? Number three, I'm going to go with Jack Mercy. I thought he was quite good tonight. Number two, I'm going to go with Daine Laurie from the West Tigers. I thought he was great. And number one, my man of the match, Reece Walsh, man. He was absolutely superb. I thought he had a great game. Also, I want a quick mention to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. I thought he was also very good for the Warriors. I thought he had a very strong game as well. But my top three, number three, Jack Mercy. Number two, Daine Laurie. And number one, my man of the match, Reece Walsh, man. He was just dynamite tonight, so he gets my man of the match in the Warriors versus Tigers game. Now let's move on to the next game that we just saw, the local derby, the big rivalry game between the Dragons and the Sharks. It was the first time I went to Golden Point since 2008, I think they said. So, you know, it was a quality game in periods. You know, it was a lot of, you know, it was a sloppy game overall, a lot of errors, and you know, both sides lost a lot of players. You know, the Dragons lost players everywhere. You know, they lost Cody Ramsey. They lost, who else they lose? They lost everyone. Everyone was getting injured. It was crazy. Corey Norman was at fullback at one stage, but I got to say, even though the Dragons, they were depleted, they put in a great fight. But I don't want to be rude, but they completely stuffed the game up very hard in Golden Point. They were on the attack. They were 20 out from the line. I thought they were going to go for the one. Last tackle, Corey Norman runs the ball on the left-hand side of the field, gets tackled, handover. Sharks get down the other end and they kick a field goal for Chad Townsend. I mean, seriously, when you're a quality half, when you're getting paid big money, You need to be icing those games. We've seen Corey Norman in the past kick those field goals to ice the games, but come on, Corey Norman. If you're going to run the ball in the last tackle, I mean, what are you doing, bro? Just set up for the one. I know it's predictable, but set up for it earlier. I mean, it's just ridiculous what the Dragons were doing, but, you know, in my opinion, the Dragons, they were brave. They showed a lot of resilience. The Sharks, I still think they're a very sloppy team. Their attack is very ordinary. Their defense is very hot and cold. We got a fire brigade over there. I'll try and avoid that. But, you know, the Sharks, I wouldn't say they were great tonight. They had a couple of great players who were individual performances. I'll get to in a minute. But the Sharks stole tonight's game, but I feel like the Dragons threw it away with Corey Norman's just stuffing up. Everyone's going to say, why not Ben Hunt go for the field goal? I don't even think Ben Hunt's ever kicked an NRL field goal. So Corey Norman's the man for that. But, you know, I feel like the Dragons threw it away, but with all the injuries, they were quite brave tonight. But, you know, I thought the Sharks, we'll talk about some of their individual players who were great. You know, I thought Josh Dugan had probably the best game of the year. I thought he was great. I thought Will Kennedy was absolutely outstanding. Matt Moylan was great as well at 5'8". He's been playing well, Matt Moylan. It's good to see Matt Moylan staying fit and playing well. Who else? I thought Toby Rudolph in the middle was very good as well for the Sharks. I thought Toby Rudolph had a very good game. And, you know, for the Dragons, I mean, you know, I thought Max Feagai had a good game, scored 2 tries. I thought Paul Vaughan tried very hard. McCulloch was solid. Blake Laurie had a few. I think he got injured, so that was a shame to see. Billy Burns wasn't too bad either. I thought, you know, Jack Bird he had a pretty up and down night as well. But, you know, it was a tough ask for the Dragons with all the injuries, and, you know, they probably should have won the game. But in the end, they threw it away, and the Sharks, they got away with the 2 points. But you know, some of the sin bins, man. I mean, the one with 10 minutes, 14 minutes to go. I mean, it's laughable, honestly. Some of the sin bins at the moment, you hit someone in the chin or hit someone in the face, even if you're off balance or it's an accident, or if you just, you know, you're fatigued and you're going for just, you know, a desperation tackle, you hit him in the head, sin bin. It's pretty ridiculous at the moment with how that's all going about. But, you know, a decent game of football when the Sharks get the win, 13 points to 12. My top 3 players on ground for the Sharks versus Dragons game. Number 3, I'm going to go with Max Feagai. Number 2, I'm going to go with Josh Dugan. I thought he was very good. And number 1, my man of the match, Will Kennedy. I thought he was very, very good tonight for the Sharks. But, guys, that's it for the Friday Night Football review. Make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you guys in the next one.